Hello, folks, and welcome back to Puffin Planes. This is a game we've been following for a little while. I did a little series on it, but there's been a new update that I kind of want to just do a quick video of because I think it's actually a really interesting update and provides a lot of different challenges. So we're gonna start off a new game here. We'll leave everything as is. With this update, there are some new people. So we have the ostrich and the penguin, which I believe are new, and you have all those people. I still personally like the Puffin. It gives you 10 plus income for everybody, but there's different things. All of this has been the same. I've actually never played Habitable Mars. You have your randomized stuff. You can set how many airlines there are, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff. The airplane crashes. This is new because your planes can actually age out, and as they get older, they get more dangerous and more expensive to upkeep. There's a whole bunch of different stuff here. I'm going to leave all this stuff enabled for right now. We'll hit new game, and we'll just see where we go and what we have. So our opening airport is in Miami. Now, I want to pause the game right off the gate here because there are some changes. If we take a look down at the bottom, this area is roughly the same. This area right here is all different now. So we have our Puffin tokens, which you get by completing challenges, which I'll go over in a second. But when we click on that, this screen is now brand new. There's a few new options, and there's really not many bad options in my opinion. You can also set your maintenance strategies. So you can do keep them pristine, your care, cost cutting, or the legal minimum. And they'll all have impacts on how the planes perform and all that stuff there. Now, getting out of that, we have our thumbs up rating, which is our reputation. And depending on what you're doing with your reputation, you can do a couple of different things. You can take over concourses, or there's things we can do in there. And also, you want to have a higher reputation. You have your CEO rating, which we had before. If you get below a D minus, you get fired. And then we also have these things, which are service points. This is new to the game. So before, we used to have like a spot where we had enough, our hangars could support so many planes, and basically you just did that. That's not in the game anymore. It's set up so that you have just your you can build all your services on there, and it just increases your sources if you look in green there. So we have our base income is 7 an hour. We have airports unlock give you stuff, large facilities give you stuff, and buildings give you stuff. And then your planes and retrofits and all that stuff take away those points. So nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Right now we got 10 out of 200 possible. That will grow and change. This whole button right here, the network and hangar overview, is totally different. So let's take a look at this real fast. First off, it shows you your airplanes, shows you your airports, which right now we have Miami. We have our routes, and then we have our hangar. So we can see all the planes that we don't have in service. Right now we have the Stalltail Pico. We have 2 of those, and then we had the Midville PAX 125, which I believe is new-ish to the game. But you can see its fuel efficiency, how many people it carries, all of that stuff. This hangar is new, and then how we deal with airplanes and all that stuff. But you can see this one is well worn, so it is going to age out here. It's 44 quarters old, and older planes lose their health faster. After 50 quarters, they lose their health, excuse me, 2 times as fast, and after 100, they lose it 10 times as fast. Then we have 2 new planes there as well. So that's all well and good. We have those base pieces in the game now. And then over here, our ordering area for planes. Before, you just ordered planes, they're just what it was. Now it's a competition. So when you go in and try to order planes, luckily nobody's ordered them yet, but we can go in and we can order planes, and we kind of have to make sure we have enough money to do all the orders. So I'm going to order 5+ planes here. You can see there's a line of them there, and then other planes will add on down here on the right hand side. They're also there. I like to order in groups of 5 because you at least get a 20% discount. But what we're also looking at here is as other planes and makers pop up, they can get priority deals where they get to skip the line. There's a limit of how often that can happen, but it is there. And then we have 3 companies going here. So we have leveraging, which we have the veteran, and it's block 1. I'll explain that in a second. With Midvale, and this is a longer range, larger plane. And then we have the Saltel. But if you take a look, there's tabs across the top here too. So if we go to models, now we can actually encourage research. It's $75,000. We can encourage research to move forward here in the block 1. The ADOs have been discontinued, but you can spend research points on what you want to see that plane be. So you have influence over what's going on. And then over in the investment area, you can spend money to upgrade the lines so it's more efficient and you get to build them more quickly. And that's the same for all the airlines. So you can see all the models and all the things that we can do with that. Early on in the game, it doesn't really matter, but later it has a big impact here. So we're just going to go in and draw out our stuff. You can see that even though we only have 3 planes in our hangar, there are always planes that you can buy. and you can update that by spending some reputation points to get new planes on that market. But you'll be able to tell how old they are inside of here and get a whole bunch of decent information. So we're going to start off with just some basic planes. Miami and Charleston are going to be our first two spots. And then we're going to go to Port-au-Prince as well with our oldest plane, which is this guy right now. I would love to be able to buy that one, but it's out of our budget. So we'll do that. And when we go in here, or when we go in, you can see, you can actually pick the exact plane. So if I go in here, you can select an aircraft and you have tail numbers of all the planes that you could possibly have there. And then it will give you stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention this. You also have the ability to change your seating. So you can set it as regional, where you have your first class, all that stuff. You have your comfort seats, your economy, whatever. You have continental, global, and custom. So you can figure out what you want for all of those things. And as you go into the planes themselves, you can see that we have it set up here. So the regional plane has the highest capacity because it's all just going to be economy class. But if you wanted to play with it, you can get business class, first class, and then luxury first class as well, and standing class. Be willing to fly standing class and not very happy about it. Okay, so we have all of that stuff, but you can kind of influence going on. When you click on the airports now, they also have ratings here. So budget is 60% of the customers going into Miami. We want 30% comfort and then only 10% luxury. And then we have a landing fee. You can see how busy the airport is, the population. There's just so much new stuff in the game that's really fun to look at. And the last thing I want to do real fast is we go back in here, we can go look at our airplanes so you can see what they are. You can see how they're doing stuff. I like to leave them aged high to low on here because this one's going to have to get replaced sometime pretty soon. We have our airports. We can see your throughput, all that stuff. You can get your routes and what's going on there. And you can sort by profitability, all the stuff. So like there's a lot of options. It doesn't seem like a big update from the get-go. It's a really, really big update. Oh, we should probably set these up as well. So we'll make sure we have all of that stuff in place. Right now our planes are repositioning and then we should be able to start flying. Uh-oh, somebody's took over our route already here. They are sharing that with us. And we see our plane is still a little ways away from being built. I bet you other people have put in orders for other planes. Yeah, see, we got in the front of that line, but a bunch of other companies. And they will not have any planes delivered to them until my planes are delivered or until they get the priority deal, which is $50,000, which is way too much money right now at this point in the game. That's why everybody's building these planes and nothing else. But I just kind of wanted to bring this up here. We're going to play a little bit just to show you what's going on with everything. And also there is an end game scenario now. So if you are to buy out all of the other companies, you win, which is fun in its own right there. So let's see what we got here. I'll put the Pico on there. We'll select that aircraft. I need $7,100 to go to that one. If I close out of here, it's going to give me, hey, you didn't actually create the route. Do you want to kind of go in and do that and all of that? And then on this one, I could do the same thing, except it's far cheaper. So I'm going to do that for right now, mainly because I just need to get income rolling and stuff started. And we also have limited time on what we're doing here. So I need to acquire a couple more cities and then launch, well, looks like those ones are all good. We'll see what happens here. Fort Myers, there we go. We fulfilled the first goal. So we can go back in here. I will say the goals are a lot quicker on this one. So expand in Southern, we need 4 cities there, and in Southern, establish a hub. Either one of those sounds great. Does this count as Southern? Heck yeah, it does. Okay. So I do need to establish a concourse here. And we just need to wait for some cash to come in before we can do that. But then we can at least get our concourse set up because I think it's the hub that we want. Oh, just need our presence there. Okay. Then this one is a hub that we'll be able to get here. But we just need to acquire 2 more cities first. So I'm not going to fly into Atlanta yet just because it costs too much money. And we are not that rich. But we will be able to get there real soon. I hope. And when planes are, one other thing I should say, there's a little pop-up down here. When you have planes that are in your hangar, they pop up there. So you can always tell how many planes you have available to you. It's not always the easiest way to tell stuff, but it does its job for what we need it to do there. So we're going to get this guy here. No, not Atlanta. Let's go to Raleigh-Durham first. And then we just need $5,600, which we are making money, so that's fine. We just gotta kind of do its thing. Oh, also, you can see what you have going on here. So I'm about halfway through my time with that, a little under halfway, about a third of the way through that one. So we can get all of that set up. Is Raleigh-Durham considered Southern? Good. And then we just need about another $1,000 or so. There we go. Got that one done. Now, what I can do is I can go back into our contracts area, say I want the hub, which we can accept. And all I need to do is be able to afford the one of these, which looks like it's going to be about $11,000-ish. Let's go forward with that, and then we'll get our research point here. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So on this one, it brings up our comfort. This one brings in income, but goes down with that. This one, more fuel, but more comfort. We don't have any first class or business passengers right now. There we go. Status program, we'll choose that. I don't want to be the low-cost carrier. I just want to be this one. So we'll select the policy. You can't just click on it. You have to click on the little Puffin plane logo thing, but it's fine. So we're going to go in. Let's just try to do a couple more things. I want to get to a point where we can at least do a little bit more here, but it's going to require just a touch more work for us. Nothing too big or wild here. Let's see. Yeah, I can't fund any airports right now. It's too expensive. It's going to be $9,000 for that. Right now, we just need to establish more southern airports, and then we can do our thing. So we're going to go to Atlanta, and we need to go to Dallas-Fort Worth. It looks like those are going to be our main options. So that one's going to cost us $8,000, which we're not far off of doing, and I would love to be the first airline into Atlanta. There we are, and you can see Miami's starting to blow up. If we go into Miami and take a look here, we're running at 67, 69, 70, 71. Oh boy, our throughput usage is far too high. So we're definitely going to need to get a spot here. But before we do so, I really want to make sure that we... Uh-oh. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we'll pay them money, even though we can't really afford it right now. We gotta eat that cost, unfortunately. All right. Our next thing, let's see, which one's cheaper to fly into? Oh, am I missing a plane? I don't have a plane, do I? Okay, so I need one more plane anyway, but if we're flying here, that's $8,800, and if we fly to here, that is $91. So we're going to fly into Houston, I think. It's going to be our next location that we go with here. And then we just need some more money so we can rent a plane. Or can I buy one at a time? Now, see, this is the problem, is that you're going to have this big backup of stuff. And even over here, I can't afford any of those planes. There's no weight for them, but I can't afford them. And you can see that the efficiency has gone up. So people have spent money on all of this stuff. So they make goals for what they're doing, so they can add more lines and more things. We take a look, they have begun researching the models and doing all this stuff. It's such a cool take on this plane. I really, really like how we've done this. So I want to get that $15,000 plane if possible. We just need to up our income here a bit. And how much time do we have left on this one? Because we may have to... So 1.2 days left. Okay. All right. I'm just going to buy this plane anyway, even though it's not what I want. There we go. I just needed to be able to get that basic part set up. No matter what, we needed to do that. And now we can go in and establish our hub, which we have plenty of time to do. It's we have 6.5 days to establish the hub. There's been no buildings or anything like that put in there. And this game really does reward hub-based things. So it's an important thing to do. I can see that we currently have one Puffin token. Our reputation is going up. We have an A. We're at 93%. And then our service points are going up as well here. So once we reach that $13,000, we should be in much better shape. This guy needs to get replaced. It's a hot mess, but we'll take care of that in a moment. Let's see. So this one does 5. Yeah, that one wasn't much more, and it costs significantly more to do. All right. Let's see what we have here. Premium lounges or massive lounges? No. All right, I think we're gonna... Yeah, we'll take the... I would definitely take airport. Even though airport negotiations 20% off is really nice, you're gonna buy planes significantly more than what you will. So having that makes sense. All right. And what is this hub destination? 20% off concourses or 20% off buildings? Ooh, that's a tough one. I should probably get in line here for some of these planes. So let's order. I think that's all we can afford right now. But you see, I got in line before a couple other people were starting to think the same thing. So it's a good deal that we got that. And I want to get to a point where we can see some of the models come out. Flamingo Air, no, I don't want to sign any deals with anybody right now. I don't even know which competitor we have is Flamingo. Are you Flamingo? No, that's Eagle. This one has to be Flamingo, right? Yeah, it's Flamingo. Okay. What do we have is available to us? 4 new well-served routes. Sure, we'll try that out. Jump down to Cancun here. Let's see if we want to add a plane on here. I want that guy. It's $15,000 though. We'll have to wait. There's our Pico. And we should have another Pico coming real soon. There it is. And let's see what the line's like. Okay, it's not too bad. We should be able to afford that pretty nice. Oh, did we get our goal already? Heck yeah. And we're just going to keep trying to make sure we make some money here. Ordering more and more and more planes because that's what we need to do. All right, we need to acquire operating rights to 4 new places. So I think we're going to establish a secondary hub at Dallas-Fort Worth. And then once we have that, we should be able to do a little bit more. All right, that's 16,000, it's 24, okay. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is build a couple flights out of here. So we're going to buy the rights to Dallas-Fort Worth. Then we can serve Kansas City. We'll go to Lubbock, Albuquerque, El Paso. And again, it's not too bad. There's no loans or anything like that in this game, so you can't borrow your way out of bad decisions like you can in other games. I'm talking about You Roller Coaster Tycoon, where we can go through and really make sure that what we need is taken care of. That's not an option in this one. So you just kind of got to go through and do all that stuff. We can see they are slowly working towards a new model. It's very expensive to invest in it, but we theoretically could. There we go. We have 2 more planes. It's that one's going to be built in a second. This one's a day and a half away. This one's a day and a half. That one's now a day away. Let's go to El Paso for $5,000. Here we go. We got our 4 new cities, it looks like. And expand our presence in the western U.S. All right, we just need to unlock more cities over in the west. This is west. That's west. That's west. That's west. So we're going to fly into Atlanta if we can here. Or, excuse me, Denver. My goodness. That's 1. We go to Albuquerque next. We should have another plane on the way. And nobody's building a lot of planes right now. So that's interesting. All right, come on, come on, come on, income. There we go. Here we are. And that one's going to be a fair bit chunkier. Oops, didn't hit the right thing for that, so we'll go in there. Start the plane. This one has been a mess since the beginning, so we're going to add that plane there. This guy is going to send to the hangar. And then once you're in the hangar, you can sell the plane. So we get 95% of whatever fees it was. All right. Now what we're going to do is try to... So it's 160 people, and it costs 18,000. This one is 200 people, and it costs 27. So this guy could carry 320 for pretty close, a little more than what that one costs. So I think we're going to spend some cash on that one. You can see they are doing their thing. And you can see we can spend money on what we want. So if I want body research, where we're increasing our max pass, it gives you, it doesn't make it happen. It just gives you a chance of it happening. This one, again, chance of range, chance of increase in efficiency and speed. So I'm going to research body here, and we'll see what happens. And then when we go here, it'd be block 1, then it would be block 2. And this guy will go out of production once all of the orders have been placed, which is another fun part of this whole thing. So we'll go in here. Let's see what we have available. We have Western. We still need 1 more city for that. We need 5 of those. So we'll go from here to Salt Lake, I guess. And do we have any Picos on the way? All right, we're still fine on that one, so I'm not super worried about this. We do need to work on our concourses there, because they're a disaster. Looks like Miami's also a disaster. Let's see, for Miami, yeah, it's definitely a hot mess. And this game, once you ramp up your income, it gets very easy. It's just a matter of time until you're actually able to do that. Let's see, what plane can I... Yeah, I'm going to throw that on there. And then this guy, I'm going to send this back to the hangar, so that then this can now fly. Let's go to Salt Lake City. Let's go to Pico. Boom. There we go. Created that one. We'll do this. Oh, I should also mention, there are very big penalties if you do not meet the goals there. It's like I have to do well-served routes. If I don't meet those goals, it really screws you over, like hardcore screws you over. So I'm going to try to make sure these routes before we do anything else are well-served, because the game punishes you very severely. You lose reputation, you lose CEO rating, you also lose a bunch of cash. So if you don't meet your goals in this one, it is, or it has the potential of being absolutely devastating for what you may or may not want to try doing. So let's go ahead and add on 5 of those. There we go. We got our goals, it looks like. All right, so we want to do 5 new places, and we'll establish a hub in the Midwest. All right, where do we want that to be? I think Minneapolis makes the most sense. That's where we're going to fly to. Start Pico up. Go out there, and Minneapolis itself, we will rent one of those. Looks like we're going to have to do more rentals here. Yeah. We're getting crushed on that one already. Just waiting for the cash to come in. There it is. And keeping that somewhat at bay. This one here has been a problem, man. Like, we're just... Every time we rent stuff, like, still, it's at 50% usage. All right. What do I need to do here still? 5 destinations. Okay. And building-wise... Yep, we'll order another one of those. We have a bunch of Picos being made. But what I want to do with these hubs is try to have them connect to all the places that we already have, because why not? So what I mean by that is we can fly one of those new planes down to there. We don't have any rights or anything that we need to pay for, but we can still do some of these basic things. And you see this route here is getting crushed. So we have that veteran that we can fly there. We have more Picos, but I don't want to fly those quite yet. All right, and then I can start connecting like Dallas-Fort Worth to places that we already have some of our planes going. I think it just makes it a more efficient network if you do that. Then we're going to go out here, get the veteran, get that set. And let's go back into our plane manufacturing area. You can see we already invested in that one. Oh, here's the second one. Okay, so block 2. The PAX 125 is discontinued. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, it's still the same. My bad. But I'm going to spend points there. And let's go with speed. You can see it's up to 75%. This one is at 60. This one's at 67. And then once we have, we have an old plane as well. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. We just need to order, or let's go over here. When you go to airplanes, you can see it's aging. That's a 125. So I need to get another one of these guys ordered and quickly. So I'm going to order a bunch of them, mainly because we can afford it. But once we have that plane built, then we'll replace it with one of our newer airlines, or newer airplanes, should I say. All right, and then we have the option of doing more stuff here. There's my dog. Sorry about that. If you're a headphone listener, I deeply apologize. But we're going to go in there. Uh-oh. Wait, a plane crash. So we have to go see. Wasn't one of our old planes. Yeah, I want to get out of there. What plane crashed? Is that us? Are we that airline? Yeah, that's us. Okay. I didn't know. And I guess we're just going to put that guy on there for now. But we're going to have to order some new planes. So you can see if we have the money, we can get priority deal. And it failed, but typically if it works, you just jump the line. That's one of the fun things. It is a risk. Like, you don't automatically get it every time. It's a possibility of that. So Dallas-Fort Worth is now ours. We own a monopoly out of that, and we're going to fly everything in and out of that place if we can. So what are our goals right now? We need to build 5 new cities and 4 new routes. All right, that should not be a big deal. We'll fly down to Mexico City. All right, that sucks. One of their planes crashed, but there's nothing we can do about that. This guy we're going to replace here. So go to View, select Aircraft. We'll select our new one. And then we go to Hangar, and we can sell that for some cash. And hopefully we'll have some Picos coming soon. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, see, like, all these guys are too... Oh, there we go. Got a veteran. Select that plane. The Pico, we're going to send that to the hangar, because that's going to allow us to at least get another plane going here. So that one's going to go to Cincinnati, because that was a relatively new plane. Fly that one to Monterey. So almost there with that one. This one's still a pain in the butt because you got to make sure you establish all of the routes that work. And we have a new plane model research. That's what we're waiting for. So let's go take a look and see what we have. So it's not that. It's not that. Where is it that? Oh, it is that. Okay. So now we have the PAX 250, which is new. It was pure before that was PAX 200. Now it's PAX 250. If we take a look here, the PAX 200 has a new block coming. It's almost there. But these guys did research a new model, and you can see that their PAX 250 is not very efficient right now. We can sabotage it and spend some money so it doesn't work, or we can spend money to help them increase their labor to do that. But you can see their rainy day fund and they're researching the PAX 350 next. But we're going to absolutely order a whole bunch of these. So let's order 5 of those and order 5 of those. And basically, I'm just trying to get more planes so we can do more stuff here. So Minneapolis is going to go into more Pico space. This guy is going to connect over there. And then we can use BWI to go in and create some other stuff here. So we have bunches of Picos being delivered to us right now, which is beautiful. And we're still running into problems with the well-served routes, although we do have it, so it should be okay. I don't know if I want to expand my presence in the Caribbean or not. Yeah, let's do it. I want to screw these guys over. I'm a bad person. All right, so we'll do that. The VIP, let's see. There's 3 VIP clubhouses. How much do the VIP buildings even cost? And we're getting crushed here, so... VIP buildings, $120,000. So it's $360,000. That's a lot. So what all do we need to do for this? Expand the presence, 3 of 7, okay. And we still have times on both of those, so I'm going to hold off on that. Is this Caribbean? Yeah, awesome. We're just going to screw with them. I'm going to buy some of these cheaper Picos just because they're easy to do and they're available now for... They're more, but not like crazy more than what we had before. There we go. We got that one done. Let's see, we're going to launch 7 new well-served routes. I guess we'll do the VIP club thing because it doesn't seem to matter. So let's go over here. I'm just going to rent out everything. Do that. Now you can see we're still gaining stuff right now, but we're getting closer to a break-even point. So real fast, as I hover over there, our sources are 53.6 an hour. We're spending 44. When I buy this hub, that number should go up. Yeah, see, it added almost 10 to that whole thing, which is fantastic. It's what we need to have. So we'll get a VIP club here. It looks like BWI I need to do some work on, which I'll get to in a second. Put DFW's there. BWI, we just need to give it some love. How about Minneapolis? How are we doing there? Doing all right. And what do we need to establish here? 3 VIP clubs. We have 2 of them built. We just need 1 more. Throw that up in Minneapolis, I guess. There we go. We got our points. What airplanes do we have? Oh, we got some big guys. Fantastic. And what do we need to do here? Just launch 7 new well-served routes. Crew Training Center in Detroit. I don't mind if I do. I know these are crazy expensive, but they're also... So it's $260,000, but it knocks off 5% of in-flight costs globally, and every single one you build knocks off another 5%. So you can really make the planes almost all of the in-flight cost. You can make them almost free if you have enough of these spread around. It's just incredible. All right, and I'm just trying to build up our stuff here. So we need a hub in the Western US, which looks like it's going to be San Diego. Or no, do we want to go Phoenix? Let's do Phoenix as our hub. I like that idea. All right, so we need to rent some things out. All right, I'm gonna fly some 200s. 200. Another 200. I'm gonna put a 250 on there instead. This one will add the veteran back on. And then this one, we're gonna send that back to the hangar. And what else do we need to do for the Western hub? Need a few more locations. All right, let's go out to BWI. That's right, we can do that. Then we want to really go. All right, and I'm just trying to do some basic little stuff here. We got our new hub established, and then I'm just going to do the 7 well-served routes, and we'll call it a day. But let's go ahead and get those taken care of here. We have a Pico. That's a slightly older Pico. I don't want that. That's a brand new Pico. Fantastic. And there we go. We have that one done, and you got to see what it is. So I know this is a long, drawn-out video, but I really dig all the changes they've made. The developers are doing a fantastic job, and it's just a really fun game to play. You can see that I'm crushing it right now, but that's not always going to be the case. So you can really play and do a lot of different stuff with this one. I really, really, really just have a lot of fun playing this game. And if you haven't already, I highly suggest taking a chance and checking it out and seeing what you can come up with. But folks, that's where I'm going to leave you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the time here, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.